Glen Canyon Dam has 90 days. 90 days until the largest reservoir in the American West hits something engineers call dead pool. That is the level where the dam stops generating power completely. Not damaged, not weakened. Stopped. At the moment it stops, 5.8 million people across 6 states lose their primary source of electricity in a single afternoon. Phoenix, Las Vegas, Salt Lake City, Denver, Albuquerque. Parts of Los Angeles, every light, every air conditioner, every hospital ventilator, every traffic signal, dark. At the same moment, and the most jaw-dropping part, the Bureau of Reclamation has known this was coming for 15 years, and the lake just kept dropping anyway. This is crisis radar. And what you are about to hear is the math behind the slow-motion collapse of the American West. Let me start with what is happening at Glen Canyon right now. Lake Powell is sitting at 25% capacity. 25. That is not a drought number. That is a catastrophe number. The lake has lost more than 3/4 of its water. By the end of this summer, projections from the Bureau of Reclamation show it will drop another 7 feet below minimum power pool. 7 feet. That is the difference between this dam working and this dam being a 710-foot tall concrete monument to a country that ran out of water. Glen Canyon generates roughly 5,000 megawatts of hydroelectric power on a normal day. It is the second largest dam in the United States. It pushes electricity into the grid for Arizona, Nevada, Utah, New Mexico, Colorado, and parts of California. When the lake hits dead pool, the output does not gradually decrease. It does not taper off over weeks. It collapses to zero. Instantly. That would leave 5.8 million people staring at rolling blackouts that make the 2021 Texas grid failure look like a rehearsal. But Glen Canyon is not even the worst part. Upstream, the Bureau of Reclamation is already considering emergency releases from Flaming Gorge Reservoir, just to keep Glen Canyon's cooling systems alive. They are draining one reservoir to keep another reservoir barely functional. They are robbing Peter to pay Paul because Paul is dying. Downstream, Hoover Dam, the dam from the postcards, the dam every kid sees in their textbook, is facing a 40% cut in water availability. 40%. That is not a trim, that is a gutting. Now zoom out, because Lake Powell is just the visible tip of something much bigger. Right now, 62.78% of the western United States is in drought. Severe to exceptional drought. Arizona, New Mexico, Utah, Colorado, Nevada. These are not states having a dry year. These are states physically running out of water. And the kicker, the part that should make every American sit up straight, is this. According to the United States Geological Survey and tree ring data going back 1,200 years, this is the worst mega drought the American Southwest has experienced in over a millennium. Not the worst in 50 years. The worst since the year 800 AD. 1,200 years. 40 million people depend on the Colorado River. 40 million. That is not just cities. That is the agricultural backbone of America. The Central Valley of California, which produces 1/3 of all vegetables and 2/3 of all fruit and nuts grown in the United States, runs on Colorado River water. Arizona's Pinal County, the cotton and alfalfa belt of the Southwest, is staring down water cuts that will end farming there permanently. Nevada has already had its allocation cut by 25%. And here is the dirty secret nobody in Washington wants to admit out loud. The entire Colorado River Compact, the legal document that built the American West, was signed in 1922, 104 years ago. It was based on water flow data from the wettest 30-year period in the past 1,200 years. Let that sink in. They built every dam, every city, every farm, every freeway, every suburb, on a promise the river physically could not keep. The compact promised 16.5 million acre-feet of water per year. We are now seeing flows of 12 to 13 million acre-feet per year. We have been running a deficit for almost 3 straight decades.